do anything. Fuck.
Sorry.
I'm coming. Come on.
I got a Shorty.
Oh, here, fill this one. I was going to give this one to Paul.
Oh, yeah. We'll give Paul one. Paul, you can have one too tonight.
Woo!
Paul has one
Check.
every
Every
time
night.
anyway.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
That was his Shorties.
Check. Check one, check two.
Sexton. Oh, it's...
Welcome, everyone, to Walking After Whiskey. I'm Shorty.
And I'm Travis. We're going to break down your latest episode of The Walking Dead tonight.
Or episodes.
Episodes.
We're going to squish two for one deal tonight. We're also, oh, that's your line.
We're breaking down.
What are we doing?
We're also going to break down a top shelf whiskey tonight. The whiskey we're breaking down tonight is Sexton Irish whiskey. It's still March, so we're still living it up Irish style, living La Vida Irish.
I know.
It's a beautiful whiskey. Can't wait to taste it and give you guys a good review.
Or taste more, for sure.
What episodes you breaking down tonight?
Oh, goodness gracious. 12 and 13.
Uh huh.
I don't remember the last one. The last one was What We Become.
And Walk With Us is number 12.
Walk With Us, that was 12. Mm-hmm. All right, so I think we're going to focus more on, oh, cheers. Good God. Look, we take a week off and look what happens.
Cheers to
Sorry,
you.
everybody. Cheers. Happy late St. Patrick's Day.
Aye.
B-A-N-A-N-A-N. I swear.
We want to take a second to show us that we're social distancing today. We're being our social responsibility by being socially apart. We want to make sure we are not being unsympathetic to people that have passed away and that are currently fighting through this virus, fighting the good fight. We appreciate you, and we're showing our responsibility by staying away from each other.
Yep, and we're at so we're actually off location. Normally we film with our family at Junction Brewery.
Yep.
So missing Scott, missing Nate, missing all the staff that's at Junction. Hopefully everyone there is safe and still continuing business. But just everybody be safe. I promise you, I didn't even get to hug this gentleman today, which kills me not to hug him. But everybody just do what you can to be safe.
Elbows.
Elbows or nothing, just.
So, Shorty loved this last episode, and like I said, I loved it too. It's been an amazing build-up these last couple episodes.
This last episode or the last one? Because I did not love this last one.
The season, mid-break season, has alluded to this amazing second half of season 10. Start us off.
Yeah, so we'll start, we'll go into, not this last one, but the Sunday before. Mm-hmm. Because that episode was flippin' epic. Mm-hmm. Like, it was so great. It is everything that you could ever want in a Walking Dead episode. So we start off, Aaron finds Negan, so that kind of starts the whole thing. Nice. And it's just oddly, Negan gets away again. That always happens. But right. So that's how it kind of starts out. And then there's lots of significant things. So I'm gonna jump because we're gonna try to fit 2 episodes in here. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna jump to Negan actually finds Lydia. So soon after he's done with Aaron, he gets away, or Aaron lets him go because he has to. And then Negan sees Lydia running, and then he finds her, and so then we kind of, what's going to happen with that? But and that leads to like the biggest thing that could possibly happen this season, in my opinion. So
yeah, there was a huge battle up at Hilltop, and the fallout the next day was pretty intense. Aaron, like she alluded to, was walking around with I forget the musician's name, but he had to basically be next to him, and he saw Negan out with his walker mask on, and basically he couldn't attack Negan, but Negan was like, you don't understand what's going on, like leave me alone, like things are gonna happen. Aaron is just so livid. Obviously he's lost so much. Even before Rick's team came around, he was already paying tithes to Negan and the Savior. So Aaron's like head at his last straw with this guy anyways. He wants to kill him already. And Negan's kind of like doing this good favor that he can't tell anybody about until it's done. And part of that favor was to get Lydia, as she alluded to, wrapped up and put in an outhouse waiting for Alpha.
An outhouse? She was in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. It was like a little cabin.
The cabin.
There's a lot of little cabins around this little place. You notice that? It's like a bunch of little bungalows everywhere. Chalets, we'll call them.
Or now, like, desirable.
Desirable.
Everyone wants to live in a little bungalow right
live.
now. So we kind of, we know that he's not going to offer up Lydia, so we know that's going to happen. We're just kind of waiting to see what Negan actually does. Mm-hmm. And it was oddly romantic.
Yes.
The death was oddly romantic, which was kind of bittersweet. Mm-hmm. You can tell that Negan does feel something for her. Like, you can tell that. I mean, he was very gentle, I guess, with the whole death thing. Well, besides the slashing, but he
No.
lays her down, kind of gentle, kisses her. So I think he does. I think this was hard for him. I think it was hard for him to actually. I think he knew he had to, but I think it was hard for him in the end.
I think a big part of that was in the comic books we found out later on that Negan's wife died of cancer. So he might have seen her bald at that time and remember how weak she was. Not that Alpha was ever weak, but it could have brought back feelings of himself of just remembering, it hardened him when she passed away. He used that to springboard himself to be who he became. But I think seeing her maybe bald during the cancer, fighting it, might have brought back feelings. I won't say for Alpha, but reminiscent of what she was and what he went through.
Well, he cries, right?
Yeah.
Like he actually cries. Like I mean, he's trying to get emotion of her, and she's just doing it to him, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole conversation is really really rough on him. So we see the emotional side of Negan, which we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So that was nice, and then emotional when he does kill her. So, but. I was a little surprised. I know you're a comic book reader, but I was a little surprised it happened this soon in the season.
Right.
So very much looking for until today's episode or yesterday's episode, but whatever. Okay, so moving on. So let's talk about Beta a little bit.
Yes.
So going back. So Beta does find Gamma, kills Gamma.
Yes.
Doesn't get the best of her though, right? And it doesn't matter anyway because he's not going to because Alpha's not around anymore, but he doesn't know that. So.
Right.
And at the end of this last night's episode, we see Gamma kind of on the balcony too, which is a little interesting. So.
Yeah, because he wants him to walk with him. So basically, you kind of keep people as trophies at this point, and then I don't know. Beta hasn't found out about Alpha yet, but he's obviously very much knowing that something's up. And Beta isn't an alpha, like he's not a leader. But I think that you start to see that maybe he's starting to understand that maybe now it's his time to just basically maybe Alpha's just too weak now. And not that he'd ever tell her that she's too weak, but I think Beta's starting to kind of grab the reins, like what, I need to push this where she can't push it.
Oh, he's definitely been frustrated. Like there's been several episodes where he's just like,
yeah,
hey, remember when you used to be a badass?
Right.
Right.
Those guys that seen his face.
So the other really tough thing about the week before his episode was Judith having to kill Earl. So I do want to address that a little bit because, man, that was awful. Number one, I'm sorry. Like I even told cameraman Paul, like we're watching this episode, I'm like, dude is not going to be able to kill himself by the means which he thinks he's going to be able to do that. So I'm like, I tell him like, no one's ever going to be able to do that. And sure enough, so Judith has that poor little girl has been through so much, but so Judith has to take it over. But. So sweet though. Like Daryl, when they finally find the kids and everything. God, I just love Daryl.
Right.
Just love him. It's just it's
Papa
the best.
Daryl.
Papa, it's just the sweetest, and especially so now we can kind of jump forward to this episode. So especially since her mother decides just to take a hiatus, and she's gonna just leave too again.
Yeah, there's no good mothers in the apocalypse. You know that they leave their children, but they go after toilet paper. They don't homeschool. It's really weird what happens in the apocalypse, but there's something definitely not on point with mothers. I'll just say that out loud.
So I mean, this entire episode was about Michonne. We'll allude to that in a second. Entire episode was about Michonne. I mean, even at the previews from the last one, we knew that was going to happen. I actually didn't think it was going to be entirely about Michonne, but it really was entirely about her. And we find out that, I mean, this is going to be her exit. So, but I just thought, really, you don't want to see your kids one last time, potentially? I just...
Super quick. As we all have pretty much alluded to, Virgil's a piece of shit. He basically turned himself into a piece of shit.
Well, let's just say this, though. Did anybody not see this coming? Like, Michonne's an idiot. Like, how do you not bring... He's a perfect stranger. How do you not bring somebody, at least one person, to have your back while we do this hiatus to a place I'm not sure of, to someone I just met, and I don't even know where I'm going.
You know, when it all happened, when they lost Tara and the 10 Spikes were out there, they lost all their friends and the Highwaymen, you know, this shook people to their roots. You know, Michonne never, ever, ever, she used to yell at people for even crossing the line or going close to the line. Like, Michonne was a very stickler, like, we're not going to lose any more people from these people. She was very scared. Yeah. She was really, really, really trying to find weapons, and they had nothing. And so literally this one person alluded to like a 2-day travel to getting weapons for her that could change the whole side. Like, showing how Michonne will leave her kids and leave everything to try and get these weapons just shows how desperate they were. Like they were being strangled at the point of, they were closing in on them with their water source. They were closing in on them where they couldn't even hunt anymore. Like they were basically surrounding them and closing them into nothing. So when this happened, when Michonne got the opportunity that this person, with a little bit of help, might be able to get them weapons that can change the war, of course she was going to take it because she was that afraid of the Whisperers.
So Virgil doesn't disappoint because we all kind of saw it coming, right? We all saw this coming.
We all saw it.
So my thing now is, does Virgil know though? Is he lying again, or does he know anything about the Rick situation? Your thought, reading the comic book thoughts here, because
Virgil wasn't very big. He was literally like in and out of the comic books.
Oh, this is what's gonna happen. Well, now too, right? He was in 2 episodes, and now we're calling it done.
So they find this. He leads Michonne to this like military ship, right? It's like almost like you see now in the news, like the medical boats. It's just basically the exact same thing, and things washed up, from this boat all the time. He's never went out there himself. He literally, I've never been on the boat myself. But going through some of these things on the island, Michonne finds Rick's boots. Not boots that look like Rick's actual boots. Yeah. And so she like freaks out, makes him take her to the boat. She goes into the boat and then finds this phone. There's a drawing of her and Judith on it and some Japanese writing and the word Rick on it. So it was like an old iPhone 4, which makes sense because it happened 10 years ago, right? Or like an iPhone maybe one or two.
Right,
Obviously it didn't work, but these things were etched on the screen. So I don't know if Rick drew it or someone drew it for Rick, but there's some Japanese writing on it as well. Kind of alludes to maybe he befriended somebody and they kind of have like a mentorship or something. I don't really know. But basically, she didn't know what was going on. If this was Virgil's ship, he'd been here before. He's like, I have no idea what this is. I don't know any of these things. But Michonne got evidence that Rick did not die at the bridge, which is, after 5 years of Daryl searching, everyone searching for him and finding nothing, she actually has evidence that Rick made it past that day.
And now she's following a hope and a prayer, but who knows how long it's been since he's been on that boat. We don't really know a whole lot about anything with that. Here's a little random factoid though. Factoid. So apparently Apple will not let any of their phones be represented by a villain. Wow. So only good guys. So if you ever see, spoiler alert, if you ever see like anybody with an iPhone, that's always the good guy. Because they will not let everyone's like looking at me. Truth.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool to see.
So if you ever see a villain with a Samsung or someone with a Samsung, that's the villain.
It's almost like black hats in old Western movies, like the black hat's always on the villains.
Exactly.
One thing, Shorty hated this episode, and I gotta tell you,
I hated it.
I loved it.
He did love it.
I loved it for the filming of it, not just because like the tripping out of it, but just having her cut into old episodes. We see Steven Yeun again. We see Glenn in here. We see
that was my one highlight.
It was cool to see
him,
right?
That was my highlight.
Although he was killing someone, he was killing Lindley. It was crazy because she didn't die that day. We saw Heath. How cool was that? Right, when we seen the whole Negan lineup, they were going to bash heads in. But Michonne was the one that was going to do the bashing. It was hilarious, like how simple deeds of helping people. Right.
So this is here's my confession.
Please.
So that scene happened, and I was still like, Cameron and Paul, you can let me know when this is over.
Did she turn?
I did. I didn't watch the whole thing, just in case.
She has not seen the Glenn bashing.
I won't do the Glenn thing. I won't do it. I won't do it.
I am going to set her up one day.
I thought I was being set up right now, by the way. I was like, you're kidding me right now. I was so upset. I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was some of the finest acting ever. It's almost doing a disservice to not watch him.
It's not. I love Glenn, and I don't want to be a freaking disaster.
The makeup was great. And he loved the part of it. It was so true. The comic books, frame by frame, everything that happened, and the visuals were great, and he did a spectacular job.
I've seen the makeup. Like I can actually look at the makeup now, but I won't. It's not going to happen. So, anyways.
Abraham took some more shots to the head. Abraham actually he held out a little longer than Glenn did. I'll tell you that much.
Abraham too, and I don't want to see any of that happen. Like that's terrible. So Travis loved it. Shorty hated it. And that's Michonne's. Maybe part of it is I didn't like the exit.
Sure.
So maybe that's it. It was like a very anticlimactic exit.
Well, I think they're alluding to the Commonwealth. They're alluding to the new
They're
the
just
new
going to
series,
make money on the new series.
the new series in the movies,
Dude,
right?
would
Which
you-
Michonne will be in the new movies.
I got a dog in my hands. Would you mind?
Sure, I would love
Thank you.
to. So because they're also gonna have the the new movie coming out with Rick and Michonne's in it as well. So it's kind of like tying that all together.
So can we just have neat little packages on their own instead of timing? Like it just seems. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Nobody cares my opinion, but I don't like it. Anyways.
Well, good review.
Short
Cheers.
and simple. Cheers, everybody.
So let's break down this whiskey.
Oh, she
We're
gets
here
us
at Shorty's place in Pleasant Hill, California, and sitting here in the Bay Area, heart of the coronavirus in California. We have a guest today, his dog. He's like Daryl's dog, but just not Daryl's dog, but like pretty much the same type of badassery.
So I feel like we do need to do this. So like all of the Japanese references, right? So tonight's episode, we had some Japanese references,
Yes.
right? So, and then Travis picked from my collection, Japanese rice lager from Bottle Logic Brewing, which is amazing. Paul has a samurai shirt on right now. Paul, you should jump to the camera real quick. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get that in later. And then the dog's name, Mochi.
Mochi.
Mochi. All right, so we have all the Japanese references. Oh, and I'm half Japanese, so there's that.
Yes, she is.
Huh.
Which is why she loves all the Islanders on the show as well. We drank Sexton tonight.
Oh.
We drank Sexton tonight.
Okay, so can I just say? So
No.
we have to. We have to. So I had to mail some packages. I was trying to abide by social distancing for sure, but I had to mail. I mailed some toilet paper to the family. So I had to mail some toilet paper to the family, and in that same center is a great local liquor store. And they're open, obviously, because who doesn't need liquor at this time right now?
Or toilet
so I'm like,
paper.
okay, so I had to pick up because I don't have whiskey in the house. You all may or may not know, but I'm not the biggest whiskey man. So I had to go pick out a whiskey, and guess what I picked it on? How cute the bottle was.
Oh, duh.
Duh, right?
Right.
How cute the bottle was. So it's got a skull on it. It's called Sexton. Like I'm like, okay, that's my bottle.
Look, yeah, right.
I know, right?
It fits the motif
It
we got
does.
going
It
here.
fits the motif. So, but I'm actually through the episode. I've actually had a couple fill-ups.
Yeah, she liked it.
When does that happen?
Shorty
Ever.
liked it. It's like life cereal for Mikey. So we had some tasting notes. She keeps tasting banana nut bread. And it does have a lot of nutty aromas I do taste as well. Maybe a little bit of dried fruit, obviously smoky. But yeah, she's tasting a lot of fruit, which is good on the palate, which also makes it easier to drink. You don't need a chaser. She's drinking her shit straight tonight. That's pretty awesome.
I just have this because
The bag, yeah, it's just selling in the back.
You need to drink during these times. And
She's a
I just
drink
do
with her
it-
drink.
And I just do it anyway. But love the bottle. Actually, love the backstory. You guys should actually go watch a couple professional whiskey tasting or go to their website. Go to Sexton's website. Like the backstory on the brand is kind of fantastic. The whole grave digger type thing
Sure.
and doing your last fantastic thing before you die. Like it's great. It's a female
Blender.
master blender.
Inside jokes all around.
Sorry. It's a female master blender,
Uh-huh.
which I think is kind of cool. And this is actually pretty new. I think 2018 is when the bottles started rolling. So, but yeah, I picked it for the bottle.
Yeah, for some reason,
really
blended Irish whiskeys don't need to sit that long. I mean, I know for bourbon, you need like 5 years for it to be an extra bourbon. Blended whiskeys, they usually come out pretty fast. They come out pretty hot. They're usually pretty clear. This isn't like a Jameson. This isn't a shooting whiskey. There's a lot of flavors going on here. You're gonna want to sip it. So cut it with ice. I drink mine straight. It tastes amazing.
Yeah,
You're
we've
gonna
been
love it.
drinking all of ours straight, but it's got a lot of sweetness in it, which is nice. Dog sees the street cleaners.
And it's getting everywhere. If you look online for Irish whiskey, it's almost like the third or fourth bottle that pops up. So you decide in your local bar, have a shot. You'll think you'll like it.
Good, it's good stuff.
Good shot. Good
Cameraman
review.
Paul. Thanks everybody. Happy late St. Patrick's Day.
Do your responsible social distancing and social drinking.
Exactly, and I mean, so many people are affected. Just everybody be safe. Do what you can.
Even your family, you know how dirty they are. Come on now. Keep away from your family.
I mean, before I even let Travis in the house, we had like disinfectant. Like
Yeah.
I hosed him down with the Dawn soap.
It was like Super Troopers. It was
Yeah,
deloused. It was
we
like
had the
Farva.
disinfectant wipes. He like used a whole tub of disinfectant wipes before he could even enter my house. So
Yeah.
there's that. And I'll be scrubbing.
Yeah. When I'm
He
gone.
dirty. I know he dirty.
Yeah, no joking aside though. Please practice it. We all
Yes.
need to keep safe. It's affecting a lot of people out there, and we're not making light of it. But we want to see life goes on. Hopefully, as long as we keep doing what we're doing and doing our part.
Yeah, when y'all get super bored, watch our show.
There you go.
We have lots of old episodes
While
on
you're
there.
at home, fucking
Yeah.
A.
Please, and tell a friend. You got nothing better to do right now.
Oh, in this episode, we're giving away some free shit. We're giving away Daryl and Michonne in this episode. How about that?
How appropriate.
Two pops for every episode. Double pop, double episode.
That sounds
Desk pop.
dirty.
Desk pop. Thanks, guys.
Dirty.
You ever seen fucking The Good Guys? He did the desk pop, Will Ferrell.
I don't know. But it sounded just dirty. You and your double pop is dirty.
Double pop, double Funko Pops.
Dirty.
It's not dirty.
Seemed dirty. Seems dirty. I don't know.
Everything is dirty when you get a dirty mind.
In the gutter
See,
always.
dog.
Look, the street sweepers are out there like, Shorty's mind's in the gutter.
I've seen that. They know. They wiped up your mind.
Dog is awesome.
Jimmy, when's the last time you had a desk pop?
September 08. Be a man. Do this now. Please do it.
Pop one off.
There you go. Pop it off.
Don't think, just
Don't
go.
think.
Here we go.
Do it, yes.